So then how did you get started? I mean, you didn't start, if I understand it correctly, with, okay, I'm going to go solve the problem of IT service management, right?
In fact, that was the last thing I was going to do. When I left my previous employer, I thought, there's a business segment I will never, ever, ever get back into. My definition of never is apparently 9 months. But it really started off with what Gartner, in 2011, Gartner coined the term citizen developer. And my vision, my view, was to be able to, and this is in 2003, November 2003, be able to enable real people, real business people, to create meaningful workflow applications. And what that meant was, to get any sort of work done, typically people fill out a form, right? Whether it's a prescription that you're taking to the pharmacy, or whether it's a request for travel, or a purchase order request, you're filling something out. And there's a very simple cycle that happens in business called request, respond, fulfill. And I thought, you know, before we had email, which has become like a de facto workflow engine, unfortunately, clerical people used to create forms, and those forms were in the copy room. And you'd go and grab the pink form if you wanted to go somewhere, and you'd grab the yellow form if you wanted to buy something. And I thought, well, if clerical workers were doing that 15 years ago, why can't those same skilled people build something today using modern technologies? So the notion of the citizen developer is somebody who is not technical, who doesn't know what a database necessarily is, who definitely doesn't know what Java, HTML, JavaScript, CSS is. They take a platform like ours, or even Force.com to some extent, and they can create a meaningful application for their business. And that was the whole notion, was solve this problem of having to have extremely highly skilled programmers create simple applications.
Yeah, and of course at the time, .com had imploded, and it was just a terrible time for technology. Silicon Valley buildings were empty, and you know, the state of tech, does IT matter, and everybody was cutting budgets, and so you had this vision of, okay, so just make it easier for people to develop. So you developed this platform.
That's correct.
So you started, heads down, you started coding.
That's correct.
Okay.
On November 5th, 2003, it was me, a laptop, and about 25 pounds of Starbucks French roast.
And so you just programmed for how long? I mean, you just...
I did it about 6 or 9 months by myself, just to try to prove out the platform concept. And then I took it to a couple of friends of mine and showed them the platform capabilities. And we got into this funny discussion. They would say, well, what can this platform do? And I would say, well, it can do anything you want. Well, name one thing. Well, name one thing you want it to do. And so this was not very productive. So plan B, which is still to make plan A work, was that we would build a set of apps that solved the business problem on top of this application to prove its value. And that's when I went back into this ITOM asset management market that I swore I was never going to go back into again.
Right? It was
I knew
in your head.
It was an old market. It was very much a growing market. It was an influential market that is and has been growing into something much bigger than it was. And it was tremendously underserved and expensive by very, very old technologies built in the early 90s and the early 80s.